Hi guys, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to be doing a writer's tag of sorts. I'm going to be answering some questions about what it's like to be a writer, especially as a teenager in high school, and just kind of some other various things about people who love books. So let's get started. My favorite place to write. There is this little coffee shop on Main Street where I live, and it's walking distance from where I do my summer internship of sorts. So it's a great place for me to be during the day before I have to go work at night. And there's constantly people flowing in and out. There's crooners music playing in the background. Great coffee. People that I know. I love overhearing their conversations. It gives me inspiration, and it puts me in a productive environment where I, really have to focus on the writing because that's the only thing there to really do. So I absolutely love writing in the upstairs room of that little coffee shop. Cliche, I know, a coffee shop. My favorite part of writing. That's a hard one. I'm a person whose brain is very filled with ideas and worlds and people and characters, and I have messages that I want everybody to know about, and I'm very passionate. And so I think for me, writing is kind of a release of all those passions and those ideas and those thoughts. And it's something I feel very emotionally connected to. So my favorite part would have to be finishing a scene, because that's like putting a little bow onto a specific idea that I had, and I really love it. It's my favorite part. My least favorite part of writing. Do I even have to say it? Editing. Oh my god. Not only do I hate rereading my own writing, just because it makes me more judgmental of my writing. If I write it once and read it, and I'm like, yeah, that's good, and the more I read it, the worse it gets. And I know that to some degree that's better, because, I've grown and I'm improving and there's something to edit. But to another degree, it just hurts my soul. I just want to love all of my writing, and it's hard for me to edit because that means I'm not going to love all of my writing. Do I have any writing habits or rituals? Writing habits or rituals. Candles. I burn candles a lot when I write. I listen to music when I write. I like to be drinking something warm, like coffee or tea or something of the sort. Nothing really ritualistic, though. Maybe the candles is the closest. Books or authors that influenced your style the most. There's one author on YouTube, Jenna Marisi, who does vlogs every week. And she has given me so much guidance and so much clarity in the confusion of trying to write your own novel that I think her ideas and her style of writing has somewhat influenced mine. Another author would be Lacey Weatherford, who wrote my favorite series ever as of now. I've read it upwards of a dozen times, literally upwards of a dozen. And I got to communicating with her through social media for a short time, and she answered my questions. She read a bit of one of my pieces and gave me some really good criticism. And I think on some level, I think the very first, character I ever created was very much based off of one of her characters. He's not in my current novel, but he holds a special place in my heart just because of how connected it made me feel to Lacey. Favorite character you've ever created? Oh God, that's so hard. Okay, so the two that I'm working on now, their names are Zachiel and Savannah. And I think Savannah would have to be my favorite, just because she is the epitome of self-hatred and regret and all the nasty, dark, not spoken about human emotions. She's an alcoholic. She smokes. She is rude. She swears. She is just a very abrasive character, and I think that I really love that I know the depths of her and why she's like that, and I get to choose how to reveal that, and I get to choose what people know about her when they know it about her. And I think that she's just a very important character to me because of how well she demonstrates the human psyche. My favorite author. Oh my god. Susan Wiggs, Lacey Weatherford, God. Those would probably be my top two. Oh, Ellen Hopkins. I love her. She's amazing. My favorite trope to write? Forbidden romance. I love a good forbidden romance. My least favorite trope to write? Asshole. I don't like to write an asshole just because I don't like writing things that are blatantly mean. I always want my characters to have justification, so I don't like to write an asshole that's just an asshole. Pick a writer to co-write a book with and tell us what you'd write about. I would pick John Green, and we would write about... What would we write about? We would write about a 35-year-old woman falling in love with a teenage boy and have a beautiful character arc as she self-discovers that love isn't always the perfect thing that you imagined. But sometimes it comes out of nowhere, and sometimes it teaches you things about yourself. And sometimes it's just not possible. Oh my god, I lost it. Got it. Okay. Describe my writing process from scratch to finish. Oh god. Well, it always starts off with some random blip in my head. And then from there on, it kind of proceeds to... I'm very sporadic in my writing, which is not good if I want to make it a career. But I tend to write my basic scenes as chronologically as they come into my head. And then I tend to be an underwriter because I like to put down basic plot points. And then I go back and I kind of fill in a scene here and fill in a scene here and fill in a scene here. And then I'll edit somewhat after that to make the chapter so it's not a filler, so that it flows with the rest of the story and becomes an important aspect. And then I get to a point where I wrap it up, and then I let other people read it, kind of a beta reading process. And then I take their advice, I edit scenes again, and I do that a couple times, and then I edit grammatical things. So yeah, there's mine. How do I deal with self-doubts? I have anxiety. So self-doubt is not something I'm inexperienced in dealing with. So what I do is I read a lot. Because I like to draw inspiration from the books around me. And so, I handle self-doubt also by watching booktubers and other authors on YouTube, because they generally have such beautiful minds that they kind of motivate my beautiful mind, and I think that's how I handle self-doubt, motivation. That's all the time I have for this video, so I will see